In the pursuit of a meaningful life, we often find ourselves chasing after pleasure, after goals, after things, after wealth. Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychologist, said that life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Freud believed, or a quest for power, as Adler taught, but rather a quest for meaning. It is the pinnacle of the human life to find meaning. And when I say meaning, I don't mean making money. Meaning that extends far beyond ourselves, meaning that is bigger, more valuable than even the money needed to get there. That our deepest quest as not just entrepreneurs, but as people, our most fulfilling endeavor, whether it is delivering a pizza or making teeth, will not be found in power, pleasure, or wealth. It will be found in purpose. And today on the podcast, we're going to dive into the importance of meaning. Meaning and money. And what we're talking about here is essentially a connection to self-awareness. The power of understanding the why behind our desires, our goals, and ultimately our money. My name is Sasha, and this is Entrepreneur Insight. The power of understanding self-awareness and its role in our ultimate success is totally underestimated, undertaught, and undervalued. Let me be clear, your success and the extent that you know yourself are totally connected. Most people have a general idea of what they want, but they often most struggle to articulate why they want it. And the key insight here is that our beliefs shape our emotions. And emotion is the most powerful force in the universe. It's the power behind our will to fight as humans, our capacity for pain and discomfort. And most importantly, the thing that holds us to our character and values, even though it might be painful: integrity. Every single goal and desire can be distilled down to a quest for a particular feeling. Think about it. It's emotions that move us to the feelings that we want and away from the feelings that we don't. And our emotions are often connected to what we believe will ensure our survival rather than what actually will. Emotions are intertwined with our basic fear of insecurity, which in a lot of ways drives us because we're more motivated by averting pain than we are by progress. The truth is that if we don't have a clear why, if we don't know why we want certain things, then we will essentially seek the minimum of our constant security. And without this clear why and meaning behind what we do, our goals and desires become part of a giant loop. And when we seek things to derive our identity from, we minimize our identity to the level of those things that we possess. And most times our goals revolve around three things. Think about it: our status, our pleasure, and our security. And most times our goals revolve around status as in pride, pleasure as in things, and security as in money. And so we want to be rich because we need to buy things to prop us up. It was only when I found my why in my relationship with Jesus that I understood that comfort was not something that I could just buy. Security was something that I could not just buy. And these patterns were exposed as my relationship and trust in God matured. And here's the thing, the loop is a result of our subconscious mind. That you and I are simply products of our subconscious beliefs. And we don't get a choice. You cannot fight your subconscious belief. You can only replace it. Let me rewind that for a second. You cannot fight your subconscious belief. You can only replace it. And that only happens when you are aware of it in the first place. And I promise you, for the rest of your life, round and round the mountain you'll go unless you ascend up to the level of your why, to the level of your meaningfulness. And so to escape this endless loop, we must delve into the why behind our desires. This why may not always make logical sense, but it's essential to be aware of it. Understanding the underlying motivations behind your desires is the superpower that you're looking for. And one of those effective practices for harnessing this power of self-awareness is the art of journaling. You've heard me say this a ton in multiple podcasts because for me, it's a bedrock. It's a foundation. And journaling is a simple yet powerful tool that allows us to pause and reflect on our thoughts, feelings, and motivations. Journaling helps me become more in tune with myself because when I write freely about how I feel today or how I want to feel or why I'm not feeling great, why I'm fearful, why I'm insecure, or why I'm confident, what you do is you end up pulling the subconscious out and putting it on paper where you can see it and understand it and look at your true self-belief right in the face. And once that's revealed, you can replace it with a higher level of belief in self. And so a lot of times what will happen is I will end a lot of these sessions in a prayer, essentially asking God to take me to this place. This is what I want to believe about myself. Father, help me be confident in these things. Help me not fear this, and that. And so the person who can answer why they want what they want will always have an advantage over the person who can only answer what they want. I want to grow $3 million in revenue next year. Great. Why? Because I want to grow my personal income by $150,000 next year. Why? Because I want to take my family on 2 international trips next year. Wonderful. Why? Because life is too short. I want to create memories that will last forever. Got it? It's a chiseling down and unpacking. It's like peeling back the onion. And as you go deeper and deeper, as you answer these questions about yourself, you get to know yourself. It doesn't exactly matter what the why is. It simply matters that you understand it. And so the fastest way to achieve your goals is to be honest about why you want them. Meaning does not come from what, but it comes from why. For example, here are a couple of mine. I want God to entrust me with wealth because it is a linchpin for generosity on his behalf. Now, of course, money is only just one way to be generous. You can be generous with a million things. Probably the most valuable thing you own is your time. You can be generous with your time. But I want to be used in a financial way, and I believe that that's what God's called me to do. I want Harvest to be a financial blessing to the people who love and support the brand. So at the end of their career, they will thank God for it. These are some of my underlying why motivations for Harvest. It's what gets me up in the morning. I'm not motivated by money for the sake of money. I'm not, that doesn't get me going, to be honest with you. I need something more. And so by understanding why Harvest exists in the first place, and it's not just to make me rich, I find meaning in that. And so in the game of life, money, wealth, power, the end never justifies the means. You must know why you want what you want and orchestrate your life to achieve it the right way. That is where fulfillment comes from, in my opinion. Now, I can only speak for myself, but I know that knowing my why helps me navigate the rough seas that stand in the way. And there are a lot of them. It's where I find my endurance, because anything valuable worth having is worth fighting for. And I have found that the key to a more fulfilling life is understanding my underlying motivations. And by doing so, I don't compromise. I know I'm in a fight. I know what I'm fighting for. And I'm tested constantly, all the time. My values are tested. My character is tested. My identity. But in that, the why kind of enforces it, endorses it, and allows me to own it. And so I say to you, go ahead, pursue your dreams, but do it with a deep understanding of why you're on the journey. That's all I have for you today. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.